So my interview with Jake Paul, right? I can't say the name Jake Paul enough. I don't know if anybody's made more money with Jake Paul aside from Jake Paul than me. I'm in all fairness, this guy's been red hot. And I have my athletes, guys. Not only am I audited on YouTube, I'm publicly audited. You know exactly who's succeeding and who's not. Oh, by the way, even within those successes, you know more specifically what's getting you the success. Jake Paul has been red hot. It's okay, I have Jake on. Now, you got to understand this from my perspective. I don't know how this is going to go. And I will never show, I'll always show up polite. This is a guest. I will always show up polite, but very well armed. Because every now and again, and it's been a long time, they're few and far between, but every now and then someone tries to get over on old Chael. And if someone ever did get over on me, even if I have the power of the button, I will never edit that. If you come into Joust and you're on my show and you're a guest, I'm going to put it out there, even if it makes myself look like a fool. It's the way it goes. I think that anything less is anti-professionalism, and I could tell you how many guys have done that to me. I say, how are you not ready? You're the pro. It's your show. You haven't studied. You don't know who your guest is that your booker brought on. You don't know that Chael Sonnen comes a little hot every now and then. You don't know that that's good for ratings. You don't know that that's good for numbers. Then shame on you. But don't call me again. I'm not going to come back and do the show. I could name people that you respect that have big programs that edit it. They killed it because they got in a joust and they came in second. I only share that with you because when I go into go into Jake Paul interview, I don't know if he's going into business. If he goes into business for himself, I have to be ready. I am the pro. It's my show. I mean, you see where there's fair play, but I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know him. He couldn't have been more likable. I truly don't know what he could have done to be more likable. Before the show was over, of which, by the way, he would have given me an hour. He would have given me 2 hours. He was in absolutely no hurry. And that's a very real thing. You come on and you make it like to a host, like, hey, I got to go. This is taking too long. That's a real thing. Now, if the host is being rude and he's taking too much time out of you, maybe you got to, maybe you got to do a little bit of here's your hat, what's your hurry, fade to black, roll the credits. I get all of that too. He didn't do any of that. And he would have given us another 20 minutes. He would have given us another 40 minutes. He would have given us another hour. He was like he was just a real guy. I didn't ask him a single question, by the way. I mean, I did not have a list of, okay, here, this is an interview. Let's go. I said, Jake, what's going on? That was the only thing I asked him. We just started talking. And at one point, Darren, I even had to tell him, man, this isn't what I expected, and you aren't who I expected. I thought for a while, but the guy's a good worker. He sticks to what's called kayfabe. If you don't know that term, go look it up. He sticks to kayfabe. So you're going to get even the smart marks wondering at times, man, are you really this guy? And in truth, he's kind of got the right to be a little bit of a jerk. He's 24 years old, famous and rich. Like, things are just going to happen. You can swear up and down that they wouldn't happen to you. Things are going to happen. There's a reason it doesn't end well for childhood stars. So he's got a little bit of room to grow up and to mature. That wasn't the case at all. When I said this to him, I said, you know what? You're not what I expected. You're a very likable guy. But then I said this too. I am surprised to see how in touch with your reality you are. And he thanked me for that. He said, well, I appreciate that. There was another time in there, and this is a large part of what won me over, is I asked him what he was thinking when he was the fan in the audience and Daniel Cormier came over. Because if that would have broken bad, things would have been really bad for my big buddy Daniel, because he was in the suit. He was in a professional role. I mean, if that would have gone bad when he went over to Paul, it didn't go bad. If it had gone bad, Paul was where he was supposed to be doing what he was doing, and now my big buddy was not. Not what happened. But it's one of the reasons that my hands got real sweaty when I watched Daniel take off. And it's also hard to get Daniel to that point. Daniel's the guy in the crowd. You can joke with him. You can tease him. You can come up behind him and flick his ear. Like I'm just saying that you don't have to, he's not going, I'm Daniel Cormier. Now I have to kick your ass. No, man, it's hard to get down to that point. It's really hard. He's got an incredible sense of humor. Daniel was at that point. I said to Paul, what was that like? And Paul said, Chael, I couldn't believe it was happening. He's playing my game. I wasn't expecting to get any attention. I was there to be a fan. And by the way, in all fairness, I'm a little bit of a fan of his. So when he's beelining to me, he's playing my game. This is what I do. I take out my phone, I make a moment, I put it on the internet, and then I find a way to monetize it down the road. But it was a real answer. It was a truthful answer. You guys might like that. You might not like that. You might think that's humble. You might think that's arrogant. It really does. It was the truth, is what it was. And that's where I started to see, okay, man, this is a real guy. This is a real guy. That, yeah, he's been dealt a hand that's a little bit weird. I mean, it is. You know anybody else that's 24, famous and rich, and all fair? Oh, and by the way, and then good at the sport that they chose, which happens to be the hardest sport in the world, combat. I mean, this guy's got a lot of really weird ingredients, and he was still a nice guy. I'm just bringing that to your attention. I know why I started talking to you guys about Paul in the first place. He told me something. He said he's not under contract with Triller. And I asked him flat out, which was the only hard question that I asked him, but it was kind of a tough one, which is, were you embarrassed at that production? And the reason that's a hard question is he works for Triller. What do I think I'm going to get back? I think I'm going to get back. He's going to piss all over the people that he works for. Turns out he doesn't. I did find that interesting. He said, Chael, I would never sign a multi-fight contract with anybody. They will all be one-offs. All of them. My name will go back up to a open negotiation every time. I don't know the boxing business all that well. I know a lot about it, and I know a lot more than most people, but I believe that would be uncommon. I believe in boxing, you sign fill-in-the-blank deals. Some are for fights and some are a year. When I do management deals, by example, those are for years. It's not, hey, we go get you 2 gigs and we're done. Or we get you 3 gigs and that's done whenever. No, it's for years. And I know some boxing contracts at least initially worked that way. And then they found out, hey, let's throw X amount of fights in there. And then let's throw out whatever comes in first, X amount of fights or the time. I only bring to you because if Jay can come in and disrupt that model, then when all is said and done, he's not going to be bad for boxing. He's going to be good. And I'm not talking about specifically the do you sign for a fight, multiple fights, a time, multiple time. I'm talking about disrupting the model, period. Their rounds are too goddamn many. He's changed that. Their contracts, if you can get something done, if this is a better way to get things done, we can't get anything done in boxing. That's why you get 1 big boxing fight a year, or maybe you get 2. And these guys are talking about is there horsehair and gloves and what arena are we going to go? I mean, shut up. Who's in charge over there in boxing? I tell you, you come to an event I'm putting on, I don't need your opinion. I don't need your opinion on where we stay or what goes in the gloves. I already got it figured out. I'm the adult in the room. It takes 3 smart people. Let me fill you guys in on something. And I don't care the level of production. I don't care if you want to make a Hollywood movie. You want to do a YouTube channel. I don't care. Take this with you and remember it forever. It takes 3 smart people to make a production. Everybody else needs to be nice.